we didn't want to keep you any longer, keep you waiting any longer. So we are going to show you the other semifinal, starting with game 2. Game 1 was taken down by Maciej Dolata. He's running Gruul, Big Monsters, Rar, Galta, and Andrzej Bobak is playing 20 Mountains Mono Red.
Yes. Andrzej's decklist is a fairly stock one, fairly stock mono red decklist. Only 2 experimental frenzy. I guess that is because of 3 copies of Chandrafire Artisan. So a total of 5 4-drop here. You know, Maciej's decklist is going to match up pretty well here. A lot of creatures with high amounts of toughness here. Maciej is from Poznań. He's known for his great love for the Gruul coral color combination.
He's been playing it to a lot of success lately.
Yeah, he actually qualified for Mythic Championship London a few months ago.
Also here in Szczecin.
Also here in Szczecin during the RPTQ. And I believe also playing a Gruul deck.
Yes.
Most likely.
He was very sad that that he had to play Modern in London because there was no viable Gruul deck for that format. But he went very well with it. I think he had a pretty high finish, like 11-4, 11-5.
I don't remember exactly, but it was somewhere along those lines.
Yeah, it was pretty good for a person who was sad not to play Gruul. So he was also the finalist of the last year's nationals and a member of the Polish national team on the last World Magic Cup, Ripin Pepperoni.
Yeah. So he's been playing for a long time, but like only recently starting to have some bigger successes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his decklist includes a lot of cards that are tough for mono red to deal with. 2 copies of Galta Primal Hunger, 4 copies of Nullhide Ferox, 3 copies of Steel Leaf Champion, 4 copies of Gruul Spellbreaker, 2 copies of Phone Lieutenant. A lot of cards that are, that have high amounts of toughness and that are pretty hard to deal with using traditional red removal. On top of that, he also has 2 copies of God Eternal Ronas. That's also a pretty big one. In his sideboard, he does not have too many options for mono red specifically, although you can see a single copy of Vivian Reed, a single copy of Thrashing Brontodon probably getting into the deck, providing Maciej with answers to Experimental Frenzy.
Because we need to remind you this is going to be a sideboarded game. They have already played game 1. Maciej is up 1.
Yes. And other options like Tybalt, Legion Warboss, probably not gonna be put into the deck. Maybe we will see Lava Coils for Maciej Dolata over some cards like Pelt Collectors or Crawl Harpooner to lessen his exposure to Goblin Chainwheeler or Shock and just have some outs to Rekindling Phoenix.
Andrzej is a man of culture and has mismatched basics. So I approve of that. Maciej is going down to 6 cards.
Jak się skończy turniej, nawet dzisiaj możesz wypierdalać albo to za kamerą. Rozumiem, za kotarą. Za generalnie, najbardziej. Co się dzieje za kotarą, zostaje za kotarą.
On Andrzej's side, he probably is going to add 4 copies of Lava Coral to deal with some of the 4 toughness threats. Nullhide Ferox are still going to stay a huge problem for him, so not sure how he's planning on dealing with those On one hand, it's going to be incentivized to stay aggressive because then he can actually outrace null height Ferox and like put Machi in a tough spot. If he goes too controlish, that's not gonna work because he doesn't have enough removal. No one drop though, so it's kind of a bummer for Andre. No two drop either. That does not seem like a very aggressive answer. Of course, it is not impossible for Andre to play controlishly. Like Experimental Frenzy really can be troublesome for the Gruul deck to beat. Given that Maciej only has limited amount of answers to those. Maciej fought a little bit during his turn and then passes, potentially not wanting to just play creature into 2 mana.
A root
into a lightning strike. He has a lava coil. If he spends his lava coil, then he can get abused by a Reclining Phoenix. There's also some other cards in his hand. I think I see another lava coil, so he has that covered. Also a Grove Tremor Guardian that he probably kept for some better times, trying to force a burn spell at an inconvenient moment for Andrzej Bobak. Andrzej doesn't have a Frenzy or Chandra yet, so I would guess that Maciej is mostly happy just passing the turns because, well, now he can just play Hexproof 6/6, which is really not the easiest thing for Andrzej to deal with. That double and that end step double lightning strike phase kind of points towards wanting to unload hand for Experimental Frenzy.
Does seem like it. 2 more mismatched mountains revealed.
Does Andrzej have a Frenzy in his hand?
I don't see it. I don't see it just
Another
yet.
light up the stage, hitting a Reclining Phoenix and another lands. Not many great options.
What is worth noting, Maciej will have to pay for his Null Height Ferox in order to get rid of the Rekindling Phoenix with the Lava Coil. If he plays another one, he will have to pay for both. But then double 6/6 trample.
At the same time you just have 2 Feroxes, so like, no, it's not too bad in the end.
Yeah. Like, do you just smash? That's what you came here for, right?
You know, like if you have your 6 on top land, then you are just going to.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's a God Eternal Ronas, doubling power and toughness.
It's not only doubles power. It's not like he's that great here because the Reclining Phoenix blocks for free, and like Andrzej can block with chump block with the 2/1. On the other hand, what's Andrzej supposed to do? He gets his Phoenix back and he needs to basically kill Maciej now because there's a lot of power on the battlefield. He finally plays his Frenzy, but he needs to contain a lot of power and toughness. If Maciej hits his 6th land, he can just kill the Reclining Phoenix with his Lava Coil and then attack with all of the monsters, dealing lethal damage. If he doesn't, he can just attack with all the monsters and deal almost lethal damage. Andrzej is trying to hit land into shock exactly to coil this Ronas. Oh, that's insane. Maciej with an extra Eternal Ronas just Regent ruling the newly played one and doubling the power of the remaining cards, dealing 22 damage to Andrzej.
I'm speechless.
Just like that.
I am speechless.
Yeah, go big or go home.
It's gonna be a Gruul finals then. Maciej Dolata is gonna face off against Marcin Staciwa. So we are going to bring you that in just a short moment when the players get ready. We'll give them a 5-minute break to compose themselves, and then we are back with the finals. So don't go anywhere, and we will be right back with you.
Dajcie mi do Stasia!
5 minut, Stasia. Dajcie mi też sobie minutkę.